Good evening and welcome to this round 6 FFA Cup match between Broadmeadow Magic and Edgeworth Eagles here at the regional facility, the Spears Point facility, for this match which should be an absolute cracker. I'm Chris Turner. I'm here joined by Damien Smith. Smudge, this sets up beautifully, doesn't it, this cup tie?
Yeah, exactly. Arguably, these are the two best sides in the local MPL at the moment. They're sitting second and third on the ladder. They played out a 0-0 draw last week, which was quite intense, sort of. Some people are calling dull affair, but it's a very cagey affair, so it'll be very interesting tonight. Both sides want to make it through to the round of 32. They want to be on the national showpiece, so it's going to be very interesting, and looks like both sides are near full strength.
Well, let's have a quick look at the sides while we're there. Bitts is in goals for Broadmeadow Magic. Across their back line, Luke Vigili. We've got Josh Piddington, John Griffiths, Matt Hoole on the right-hand side. Holding midfielders, what we think at this stage will be Ryan Enzor and Mitch Oxborough. We've got the inclusion smudge of Andrew Hoole, which will be very exciting to watch here tonight. Cody Carroll up front, joined by Cale Bradbury and James Vigili.
For Edgeworth, we've got in goals Josh Lowe. Number 3, Josh Rose. Number 15, Josh Evans. Number 6, Jose Atadi. Number 22, Mitch Dobson. Number 4, Pat Wheeler. Number 8, Aidan Gardner. Number 14, Adam Corley. Number 10, Keanu Moore. Number 9, Oliver Smith. And number 11, Dylan Holtz. And on the bench for Edgeworth, number 23, Aaron Pettisano. Number 19, Tyson Jackson. Number 7, Will Bauer. Number 8, Liam Spurway. Number 20, Aaron McLaughlin. And reserve goalkeeper in 21, Declan Crook, and coached by Damien Zane. Just about to get underway here. Round 6 of the FFA Cup, Northern New South Wales. Broadmeadow Magic going right to left in the yellow shirts, facing against Edgeworth Eagles. So grand final winners against last year's premiers. Edgeworth kicks us off. So CT, just your initial thoughts on the game?
We may battle because we don't have Ben Homer with us.
That's exactly right, yes.
Look, this game's going to be, as I mentioned before, a cracker. It's got all of the ingredients. They've played just 1 week ago and played out a draw out at Edgeworth. This one's a different game for a number of reasons. We're on a different type of pitch. It's a synthetic pitch. It's different to what it was 12 months ago. I've just been out there and you've had a look as well, Smudge. It almost resembles grass to look at and maybe to walk on, but it seems to be running very quickly, and I've heard that mentioned earlier during the day as well.
And just quickly, while we're waiting for a ball from the sideline, in earlier games today, in the first game, Valentine 9 versus Cohiba 1. Maitland beat by Amby 7-2. Olympic beat Bangalow just in the match prior to this, 10-1. And obviously this is the 4th match of the today. After the proceedings, there will be the 4 winning teams, CT. There will be a draw for the round 7. And the winners of the round 7 will go into the round of 32 of the FFA Cup on the national stage. So very exciting, and both these teams want to be there, don't they?
Yeah, look, it's one of those situations where if they get into the Cup, both of these sides, in my opinion, would do very well to represent the region. And they both know how tight it's going to be, given that they've had a draw within the last week. It is skidding a little bit, and it's quick. So it'll make for some interesting play, Smudge.
Yes, there are. Dobson on the ball. Strong challenge by Vigili. Moore, it's got a bit of space in the centre of the park. Plays it out wide to Josh Rose. Edgeworth started quite strong so far, CT, putting more Broadmeadow Magic on the back foot. Magic come away with it. Yeah, just an interesting exclusion for Magic, John Majorowski. I think he's away to winning. Oh, Magic with the ball. There's a turnover by Edgeworth. Bradbury. And another turnover, back to Edgeworth. I think both sides just need to get on the ball here, CT, settle it down. Just start getting to a bit of a pattern, a bit of a rhythm. Just knock the ball around, get a good touch on the ball, get a feel for the ground, because it is a different surface to what they're used to playing on. So,
yeah, and interestingly, Edgeworth haven't trained on this surface. They elected to train at their own ground. Whereas I believe Magic have been out here a couple of times, at least once that I know of.
Josh Rose Magic playing a little bit deep here. The back four playing quite deep, giving a bit of space for great turnover. Great dummy by County-Moore. Out to Aidan Gardner. Holds the ball up. Good pressure by Magic. Back to Atati. Goes forward on left-hand side. Josh Rose. Back to Josh Evans, sorry. To Gardner. Great little ball in to County-Moore, but well cleared out by John Griffiths. Very interesting. Just at the moment, Broadmeadow just sitting off Edgeworth, allowing them to play. It's a bit of a risky move just early on, I believe. Wheeler clips it in. Pennington's there for Magic. Heads it away. Out to Cody Carroll and clears it out. Magic again, sitting very deep, CT.
Yeah, they are. I think they look like they're just forming a defensive pattern just to hold them out. They'll know with the speed of this pitch, Smudge, that they're not going to play a lot of through balls because it'll just run too quickly. It has to be absolutely precise. Magic will know that. It looks almost like they've set up so that Edgeworth have got to play through them.
Yeah, but also I thought Magic might be setting up for the quick counter-attack because, you know, they've got pace up front in Bradbury, Vigili and Cody Carroll, so they might be playing a bit more of a counter. Corner by Edgeworth, whips it in, back stick, and cleared away by John Griffith. So another corner to Edgeworth Eagles. Soaking up some pressure here, Broadmeadow Magic. Adam Cawley's just coming over to take the free to the corner, sorry. Cawley with the corner. Whips it in, beautiful ball in, back stick, and Bits collects it. He had a slight little spill there, but he gathered on the second time. He had a fantastic year last year, Paul Bits, CT. Won goalkeeper of the year with the most clean sheets. Won the grand final with Broadmeadow Magic. He's having another fine season with Broadmeadow.
Yeah, he certainly has, and he's really found his home and enjoying his football as well.
Great turn by James Vigili. Atati comes across in cover. Plays the ball out to Andrew Hill. Plays it wide to his brother Matt. Tucks inside. Back out to Andrew Hill. You've been for a big game today, Andrew Hill. We'll get to him in a second. Back to Hill again. Oxborough. Better passage of play from Broadmeadow. Good 1-2. Back to Andrew Hill. Back to Oxborough. Back to Matt Hill. To Andrew. Takes one, takes two on. Drives into the box, crosses. Well defended by Edgeworth. And picked up by Cody Carroll. Deflected off the referee, out to Matt Hill. Sorry, out. Great ball in by Oxborough. And ball's cleared away by Edgeworth. Better passage of play there, CT from Broadmeadow. They held the ball well, kept it to feet. Good interchange, good movement off the ball. And that's a lot better for Broadmeadow. It's well played.
Yeah, and that's the sort of play that Broadmeadow would want to keep going. We've noticed how deep they're sitting in defence. You can see some pretty blocked lines there. And as you picked out before, Smudge, the counter-attack, not even so much a counter-attack, but as a well-constructed movement through the park and with great possession. So a lot more of that from them will be very good for the confidence.
Great challenge by Josh Road on Cody Carroll. Into Adam Cawley. Plays a short one to Dylan Holtz. He's a strong player, Dylan Holtz. Cut out by Ryan Enzer. Good ball into Carl Bradbury. Plays it on to Ryan Enzer, but just evades him. Down the left-hand side, plays it back to James Vigili. Little ball into Enzer. Enzer crosses. Just goes in behind and cut out by Josh Rose. Such an experienced player, CT, Josh Rose.
Yeah, being quality for.
And just quickly, Edgeworth on the counter-attack. Plays the ball in. And well defended by Josh Pennington out for a corner. Sorry, CT.
Very, very good quality for Edgeworth. And he's one of those players that is able to turn the game. He can win games for you. Plays very much a defensive role, but he's in attack. And that's where he's dangerous, coming from deep.
Aidan Gardner. Delivers a corner into Bits. Great punch by Bits for Magic. Cawley for Edgeworth. And just the pass evades Josh Rose. I tell you what, the game like this, CT, it's going to be very cagey, I believe. Both sides have set up very well in defence. Just been very cautious at the moment. Both sides do not want the opposition to transition because they've both got quick players up front and they're both very good at transition. Virgili back to Hurl. And you know what? Both sides have got guys who can actually play with the ball at their feet, and this surface suits that. Magic.
Well, that it does, Smudge, and this surface, it's immaculate. There's no excuse for not playing a good ball. You're not going to get one bobble, of course. And players with good close ball security excel on this type of surface.
Yeah, exactly. And we just seen earlier for Magic. Oh, it's a foul to Magic here. Sorry, we just missed what the referee's doing, but looks like it's a late foul on Luke Virgili. Broadmeadow with the free kick. Oxborough on the ball. These conditions will suit Oxborough too. He's very tidy on the ball. It's a nice clean roll on this surface. Oxborough delivers into the box. Nice and high. Well cleared by Pat Wheeler. And Carney Moore comes away with it. And they played that very well. They've got a bit of an overlap here on the right-hand side. Ball into Dylan Holtz. Great turn by Dylan Holtz. He advances forward. And he tries to slide Adam Call in, but it just goes too far. He probably, if he had his chance again there, CT, he could have had a ping. He's only about 20 yards out. And a nice roll on the ball.
Yeah, good start for both sides, Smudge. And both sides will be very enthused with the way that they're going at the moment, both having opportunities. Haven't had a clear-cut chance at goal just yet. It's a
very quiet arena, isn't it, CT? We're used to commentating when there's a grandstand or a grandstand behind with the noise and the crowd shouting, but it's very quiet on this far side where we're commentating. All the crowd's based on the far side.
Yeah, it's usually the other way around, that's for sure.
However, you can hear the players clearly talk, can't you? Barking instructions. Matt Hill going forward. Plays it back. And again, Edgeworth's back line sort of just playing a little bit deep as well. I suppose the pitch isn't as big as Edgeworth or a Magic pitch, so you can probably afford to play a little bit deeper.
Yeah, plus neither side wants to give away that first goal because just mentally they're so close. Just mentally, it's just going to give you that edge to think and believe you can go on with it.
I was talking to Damien Zane just prior to the game, and I'll come back to that. Andrew Hill on the ball. Beats one. Turns, pirouettes. Tries to play a ball into Carl Bradbury, but Josh Lowe cleans it up. Yeah, talking to Damien Zane before the game, he believes there's only going to be a few chances in this game. It's going to be very tight, very cagey. It's like a grand final for both sides. Both sides want to make it through to the round of 32. So, yeah, I think it's going to be quite cagey, I wouldn't say defensive, but, you know, they're not going to give too much away in the first half especially. That's a great play by Broadmeadow. And good pressure by Carney Moore, who wins the ball back, and then Ryan Enzor comes back up with it. Ball over the top to James Virgili. We spoke about that before, CT. Balls need to be into feet because with the due surface at Lake Macquarie here, the ball's just going to skid off. So very important. Both sides play balls into the feet.
Now, I won't be surprised, Smudge, if we see some fog come in later. It's that sort of night. That would be interesting. There's no breeze at all.
However, where we're standing is swaying quite a bit.
Yeah, that's true. So if you'd just stop swaying yourself, that might help us out.
So Dobson is back for Edgeworth after a stint over in the US. College football. Takes the throw back to Gardner. Gardner's returned to Edgeworth from Charlestown from last year. Evans. Wheeler. We've got our Bar TV Player of the Year. Fantastic year last year for Edgeworth Eagles. Atati. Great ball out to Josh Rose. And the ball skids on a little bit. So I went for an eye test a few weeks ago. See, my eyes are slowly decaying. And I've actually brought my old glasses out tonight, so I'm trying to look at the players on that far side and find it slightly difficult, but that's all good.
It's your whole body's slightly decaying, mate, not just your eyes. I've got to admit, between the pair of us, we're struggling with our eyes.
Dobson. Cut out by Andrew Hurl. And good pressure by Oliver Smith. Back to Enzo. Comes away. Good pressure by Keanu Moore. And gets away out to Matt Hurl. Matt Hurl's got a bit of space here. Enzo back to Hurl. Into Cody Carroll. Oh, he's lost the ball. Great challenge by Matt Hurl. Out to Luke Virgil. He's got a bit of space on his left-hand side. To his brother James. Cuts inside to Cody Carroll. Lays it off to Andrew Hurl. Better passage of play from Broadmeadow. Oxborough. Has a shot. Nice strike by Oxborough from about 25 yards, but comfortable by Josh Lowe.
Yeah, Lowe never in trouble with that one, but that's the sort of play Broadmeadow going to enjoy.
Just on that, just what's interesting, I'll just leave it there for a sec. Cut out by Carl Bradbury's to Oxborough.
Shouts for a handball there that were valid.
And Hurl plays it into James Virgili. Great little ball on the inside. Well defended by Mitch Dobson. Comes out with the Aidan Gardner.
That's a rare through ball we're going to see. And Hurl has put the absolute perfect weight on that.
Perfect weight, wasn't it? Just enough for James Virgili to come onto it. That's well played by Edgeworth Eagles. Corley's got a bit of space. Josh Rose on his outside. Plays it to Josh Rose. Crosses and sort of just duffed it a little bit just under the... So Enzo comes away with it. Into Matt Hurl, well played. Great run by Matt Hurl. Into Oxborough. Oxborough to Andrew Hurl. Out to Virgili. Crossed by James Virgili. And cleared away by Edgeworth Eagles. And Dylan Holtz comes away with it. Tatey advances forward into Corley, and again Broadmeadow mate just sitting outside that 18-yard box. Do you know what? It looks like they're setting up for this quick counter attack.
Yeah, and making Edgeworth play through them. That's what it looks like, because they're not going to get over the top or the through balls too often. I can't imagine. They've just set up so that if you want to come and attack us, you got to get through us.
Gardner pitched it. Great ball in. Gone, and that's a foul by Dylan Holtz on Matt Hurl. Very dangerous ball in by Gardner, bounced awkwardly in the 18-yard box, but it was well cleared away by Matt Hurl in the end. The other interesting thing, just watching when Broadmeadow has the ball outside the 18-yard box, Edgeworth 18-yard box, Edgeworth is sort of just sitting. They're not rushing out to close the ball down. They're letting Magic play in front of them, which is the smart thing to do because Magic's got some speed. If they rush out, they can play a 1-2 round, open up space, and then they're in. So smart tactics by Zane. So Edgeworth with the throw. Ball skids away from Holtz. Strong challenge by Enza. Magic try to get a quick counter attack, but Josh Evans sweeps up at the back for Edgeworth. Wheeler. They're very condensed out there. Their shape, both shapes are playing quite tight. That's a great ball by Aidan Garner. Out to Josh Rose on the left-hand side. Into Moore. Oh, Moore straight into the referee. Back out to Matt Hurl. Into Oxborough. Nice one too with Andrew Hurl. Tries to play Cal Bradbury, but well cut out by Josh Evans. He's been absolutely superb over the last 5 or 6 years, hasn't he? Josh, he's been one of the pinnacle players of the competition.
Yeah, we've said it before. He's probably one of the better players we've seen in a long time.
Yeah. And he's been a big part of the reason they've won 4 in a row. Aidan Gardner goes forward. Great ball into County Moore. Has a strike. And just past the right hand post. Just never connected on that one, did he, County Moore? Beautiful touch. Well played by Aidan Gardner, but he just never connected.
Yeah, that's right. And Bits had that one covered, that's for sure. But on a night like tonight...
Sounds like a song, mate.
It is like a song, but on a night like tonight, it's worth having a strike from range because the ball's going to come off the surface quickly. A little bit of moisture in the air.
Great pressure by Edgeworth to Ollie Smith. He has a strike and just past the right post. Wasn't that great pressure by Edgeworth on Broadmeadow? Trying to play out, caused a turnover. The ball went into Ollie Smith. He turned and nice strike.
Don't want to put the hex on Bits here, but he had that one covered as well, and he's looking in good form. I saw him in the warm-up. He was smiling, just enjoying his football. He's in the right space. And so far, so good for him.
And again, both sides are really playing condensed. When they're setting up very structurally quite dense and quite compact in defence, making both sides very hard to get through. Dobson in the garden. He's been very busy in the opening 20 or so minutes. Hurl, Enzo. Back to Vigili. Good pressure by Edgeworth. And good clearance by Vigili. And again, pressure by Edgeworth on the ball. Enzo. Back to Oxborough. Oxborough, great long ball. Out to Cody Carroll, but well cut out by the experience of Josh Rose.
Yeah, he picked it up quick. We've seen him do that a number of times. Oxborough, particularly out there with Vigili when he's playing out on that side.
I'll get back to Cody Carroll.
Yeah, the thing I know what you're going to say, he's playing on the left-hand side, but now we see him what appears to be going centrally.
Yeah, probably just the midfielder's just rotating here, but yeah, Ruben's elected to play him on the left-hand side, Cody Carroll on the right. More so, obviously, good pressure by Magic. Well won by Cody Carroll. Advances forward towards the 18-yard box. And that's a foul by Pat Wheeler.
Yeah, Wheeler there, he's just clipped Carroll on the back of his ankle. I'm not overly sure that he meant it. However, it was a definite free kick, and now Magic is sitting in a very good spot here. We saw Nathan Morris last week from a similar range just on the other side of the box. It looks like this time it may be Hoole or Oxborough to take this one.
Yeah, looking from this angle, I'm thinking more of a right footer. However, Oxborough is, as you know, superb at this sort of angle as well. He's got he's great with the dead ball situation, but so is Andrew Hurl. So once this goes back 10 yards, it's just going to be just outside the 6-yard box. So we spoke last week about, is the ball too close to the 18-yard box? I don't know. I think this is not a bad angle.
The thing is, if you're going to go over the wall, you've got to get it to dip in time. That's the challenge. So a lot of spin required here.
Hurl's to take it. Great ball by Hurl, but hit the wall. Magic appeal for handball. Just looked like he never connected on that one.
Yeah,
CT.
and that's the trouble. It's got to be that precise, just over the top of the wall with enough spin to drop it. He's very close, but just not quite.
Vigili. Just going back on James Vigili playing on the left-hand side. Obviously, he's got that's a great ball by Oxborough to find Matt Hurl on the far side. Out to Cody Carroll. So he's got a right footer, and that's a foul. He's got Virgili, who's accustomed playing on that right-hand side, a right footer, playing on the left-hand side, obviously looking to cut in, where his natural game is actually to go on the outside, on that right-hand side, and that's where he scored most of his 7 goals from this year. And he's got Cody Carroll, a left footer, on the right-hand side looking to cut in. Obviously, he's looking for his fullbacks to overlap as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's going to happen. When they cut inside, it's going to open a hole, and both sides, as in Hoole playing at right fullback and then Virgili on the left-hand side, him being able to cut.
Oxborough delivers and just goes past.
For his brother, Luke, to be able to get into that hole. So, yeah, interesting tactic.
Me personally, I like James on the right-hand side. That's when he can burn past the left fullback. However, I think it's a fair tactic by Ruben. He's looking for his brother Luke to overlap. However, the way they're playing quite deep, it's probably harder to overlap from like about a 50-yard around your brother. And that's good pressure by Magic. And here's James now on the left-hand side. Here he goes, waiting for his brother to overlap. That's what we were just talking about. But he had to run about 50 yards to overlap again. Back to James Virgili. Griffiths. Oxborough. Oxborough tries to find Luke Virgili. Great ball out to Luke Virgili. Back to Enzor. Oxborough. And well played by Broadmeadow. I like the way when Oxborough drops just in front of the 4, just in that number 6 role. Him and Enza are sort of rotating a little bit there, getting a bit of space. And as we've seen there, trying to play the ball through, it just skids on out for a goal kick.
This time low on the ball. Just trying to settle things down a little bit. Asking for his team mates to push further up the park. Wants them to clear further down, put some pressure on Magic. Sends a searching ball down the park. The header goes up. And Smith applies some pressure, but Bitts has got that one covered.
He scored 6 goals this year, Oliver Smith. He was out for a few weeks after being injured, so it's been a great addition for Edgeworth Eagles this year. Gardner.
Seeing Edgeworth, Holt's on the ball at the moment. Finds the touchline, and Virgili gives it to his brother. And Virgili looking for options. DeHul back to Virgili. Slides past his defender and straight to the hands of Wheeler.
Just looking at Bradbury there, he's made the run. We'll get back to that in a second.
Keanu Moore's claiming a free kick. Oxborough quick feet. Clever little dink. Hurley back to Oxborough. Now to Griffiths. Plays it back to Virgili. Magic holding good possession here with Enzor. Playing that ball over the top. And again, not too bad. Just got away a little bit. And Broadmeadow put a heap of pressure right there on low. See, again, Magic getting a lot of the possession at the moment.
I think in games like this, we're talking about Carl Bradbury's playing as the number 9, normally playing on the right or left-hand side. You need a number 9 to hold the ball up in games like this, because if you're running off, the ball's just going to skid. We've seen one ball played in behind for James Virgili, where he did well, is well weighted by Andrew Hurl. However, balls need to be at the feet, especially through the centre. And here we go again, Oxborough trying to find. And that's a foul on Oxborough.
So Edgeworth will bring this one back out for Magic for the restart. And Peddington not in any rush or reason to send this one forward. They're content with the build-up is Broadmeadow. They're holding possession well. They've got plenty of ball players in this side, highly capable of doing that. See this ball played back out to Peddington. Josh Rose has fouled there, and the crowd are not happy. I'll rephrase that. Some of them are, some of them are not.
And good pressure by Andrew Hurl.
Rose back on the ball. Finds more than Holtz. Cleaned up by Pittington. Enzor under pressure, but gets it away. Now it's with Andrew Hurl. He's still on the ball, looking for his brother Matt. And converts to a throw-in. Both the Hills combining there. This time Bradbury finds Luke Virgili in space. Advancing, looking for a 1-2. Clips the ball in. Back stick, diffused by Rose, and Lowe has an easy pickup. And what looked quite a dangerous crosshair smudge was cut out easily in the end.
Oh, what the experience of Josh Rose, just to chest it down to Josh Lowe. So he's such a valuable player to the Edgeworth Eagles, Josh Rose. And that's nearly a great touch by Ollie Smith in for Dylan Holtz, but cut out by Broadmeadow. What are your thoughts of the first 30 minutes, CT? It's very even.
It is very even, and both sides are just getting into position, but they're not actually getting anything really of great value on target at this stage.
Yeah, they're getting some good positions, but I don't think they're overcommitting each other because they're wary that the other team can transition really quick. It's just going to be a tight game. There's only going to be a few chances in this game.
Well, that's as you say, if you overcommit, then it opens up holes. So we see Griffiths on the ball here now. Overhits it for Bradbury.
And again, I like to see Bradbury come towards the ball, into feet. The ball tends to skid on if you're trying to run and look for that ball in beyond.
So Rose back on the ball. Now we've got Rose. Smith looking for it, back stick. He gets up, Smith, but punched away by Bitts. Still Magic not out of danger.
Great ball in by Josh Rose again.
Ball in from Smith.
Gardner. Gardner on the ball. Back to Dylan Holtz. Good pressure by Oxborough. It was a foul. Referee played on into Andrew Hurl. Back to James Virgili. Oxborough. Great 1-2 with Virgili. And well pressure by Gardner. Forces Hurl back. And Moore just clipped Andrew Hurl.
Well, we'll see Oxborough here get on the ball. He'll be most likely heading this ball to the right-hand side as we're looking at it of the penalty spot with advancing runners would be about where I'm picking, and probably between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. That'll be about his mark. It's exactly his spot, was just cut out there. And now Oxborough back on the ball. Sends it back to a similar region. This time finds Bradbury. Still at his feet, Bradbury. Plays it back out to Virgili. Virgili, one-on-one battle here. Gets the ball played in. It's cleared back out to Oxborough. Finds Griffiths. Plays it out to Andrew Hurl. To Matt Hurl.
Just on Edgeworth here, they're sitting quite deep. You don't often see a Damien Zane side sit quite deep. Obviously, they're very cautious today.
They're being careful.
Yes.
That's for sure. They need to be because they know the
pace,
ability.
Yeah, and the pace of a transition from Magic.
We'll come back to that in a minute. We'll see Bradbury on the ball this time. Plays the ball through. He was looking for Carroll, but didn't find him. You know, if this ball's if it plays quicker, it's running quicker, the play's quicker. That's about how this one works. And I was talking to Damien Zane about that today, and he'll be very careful. You're saying about you don't see many sides of his that are going to sit deep like that. He knows how quickly things can change and how quickly the holes can open up because of a quick-paced game. So you can see both sides being very careful in defence. Probably the reason why we haven't seen too many genuine opportunities, Smudge.
That's right. That's better by Bradbury. He's come to the ball. A few times he's ran away from the ball looking for that ball played in, but the ball just skids. And pitch like this, it has to be into the feet.
Yeah, and I think look, the ball play has been tremendous so far. As we see Matthew Hill on the ball and gets turned over, finds Wheeler. And under pressure there, Wheeler, and gets out for a throw in. Oxborough makes his way over. Take the throw. He's just unloaded it to Andrew Hoole. Probably will look for his brother. No, goes back into Oxborough short. Comes back. Doing well to hold off some numbers is Hoole. And Jose dispossessed by Matthew Hoole. Sorry, Andrew Hoole. I'm messing up the brothers a little bit.
Yeah, two sets of brothers, but the Vigilis and the Hools. Pennington.
Well, Pennington, he's advanced. I'm not sure what that was, to be honest, Smudge. I think he might have been looking for Bradbury.
Well, I'll tell you what, CT, Josh Pennington, their captain, rumour has it this could be his last year for Broadmeadow Magic. Played over 300 games, has scored 4 goals this year, CT, and you don't see Pennington on the score sheet too often. He normally gets a few every year, mainly from set pieces, but he's scored 4 this year so far. It's only halfway through the comp as well.
Yeah, and it's fantastic because as you get older, you tend to stay in your spot a little bit more, especially if you're at the back, don't you?
He's been a great servant for Broadmeadow Magic, Josh Pennington. I signed him when he was a 16-and-a-half-year-old playing first grade for Broadmeadow. He's stayed ever since, 10 years, even longer with the club, over 300 appearances.
How old is he now, Smudge? See Holtz. This ball's played out to Rose. Rose plays his ball in.
Well controlled by Josh Evans, if he meant it. Josh Evans here just advancing forward.
Oh, now we've got Hoole on the ball. Finds Oxborough, tries to slide it. And this time, Oxborough under pressure and the ball goes out for an Edgeworth throw.
I think both coaches be reasonably happy with the opening 30, 35 minutes or so. CT, it's quite a cagey affair, probably like last week's game. I didn't see last week's game. But defensively, both sides have been rock solid, been very well committed to the cause. Good pressure on the ball. When they've had opportunities to play the ball around, both sides have looked good. It's just creating in that in that front third.
Well, we've got some space here for Broadmeadow, and James Vigili's on the run. His brother Luke is making pace down the left-hand side. That one doesn't work. Vigili tries to get a decent strike on goal, but it was a little bit underwhelming.
Poor look, Vigili ran about 60-odd metres there for no return, but he's slowly getting back into position. Gardner to a Tatey. Good pressure by Broadmeadow. Back to Gardner. Well played by Edgeworth Eagles. Back out to Mitch Dobson on the right-hand side. Plays it into Dylan Holtz, and he's offside. Great turn by Dylan Holtz. Good pressure by Matt Hoole, but he was slightly offside. He came from an offside position into an onside position. Great turn by Dylan Holtz, but he was called offside, CT. Not watching, mate.
Yeah, I'm in. We've had 36 minutes pass by. And no real genuine strikes at goal that have worried either keeper at the moment.
Yeah, it's been very tight. Like we said earlier, just the other teams advancing through. Valentine over Cohiba, Maitland over Boambi, Olympic over Bangalow. Those 3 teams are into the round 7. Obviously, the winner of this game will go into the round 7 draw after the game. Pennington comes away with it. So CT, it's approaching half time. What are your thoughts as a coach? You want to just lock it away to half time, just to go in at 0 or you'd be satisfied with, especially with your defensive play. Also,
yeah, I'm not so sure about that, Smudge. I'd want to apply a bit of pressure, as Magic are doing here. Hools played it out to his brother, Matthew. Oxborough, this time on the ball. Is out to Carroll. Oxborough back to Carroll. Oxborough again. Magic holding good possession here. Still holding possession.
and that's what I mean with Edgeworth. They don't rush and try and put pressure on the ball. They're just holding their ground, limiting the space. They're allowing Magic to play in front of them, which is quite a smart thing to do.
It's obviously part of their plan. So they're not going to drag people out of position because they haven't got the ball. They'll just be patient. When the ball comes and it's time to tackle, that's when they'll make their tackle. But they're not going to get dragged out of place. You can see how structured and how organised they are right now. So Carroll dropping it back to Griffiths.
Because as you know, CT, sorry to cut you off, it's hard to turn on this surface as well. A quick turn, you sort of, you know, players have to get their bearings and get their footing before they do a quick turn because it's a different surface that they're used to playing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. A great little touch there from Vigili.
Great challenge by Pat Wheeler. Got a chance here, Edgeworth. And again, a few balls just going past the players, CT. They need to play the ball into feet. Rose on the ball on the far side, just leading up to half time. Got about 5 minutes to play to half time. Very even game, CT, game of chess.
Chess, yep. That's it, Smudge.
Nice header by Gardner.
If we get a chance in the second half, Smudge, we might talk about some of the dietary requirements from the Boambi Bombers that we were having some discussion about earlier.
Okay. Gardner. Goes forward, has a shot, it takes the deflection, it's a goal! What a strike by Gardner! It takes the deflection of Josh Piddington into the top end right-hand corner, bits caught, napping slightly, and what a finish by Aidan Gardner from about 25 yards out, CT and Edgeworth. Go to the break, or 5 minutes from the break, 1-0 up. It was on target, but it came off Piddington's head and sort of got bits by surprise, CT.
Yeah, look, that's exactly what Edgeworth were after. Bits genuinely, I believe, had it covered, but it did take that deflection off Piddington. Not much he could do about that. And then just clipped over the top. And here we go again. This time it's Holtz cutting inside. Big shouts from the crowd, but when we could see that one pretty comfortably, it was okay from this angle. See Wheeler on the ball. This game's really heated up.
I was going to say, CT, now I think this game's going to come alive. It was a little bit cagey in the opening 40-odd minutes. Now I think you'll see Broadmeadow come out of their shell a little bit more. Ball into Oxborough. Oxborough strikes it.
And this time we're on the counter-attack, and Smith finding himself now one-on-one with Piddington. Piddington, it just shows the experience. Just waited for that right moment, Smudge, and then jump straight in and defuse it. And
even Oliver Smith, he just touched the ball forward, but it skidded on to Piddington. It was such a smart defender, Piddington. He just waited. He knew the ball would skid a little bit. But I think the game will come alive now, CT. It's been a very good defensive play by both sides up until this point, but I think now Broadmeadow need to come out. Oh, God.
And another big strike there from Edgeworth. This game, Smudge, it's just opened up, as you said. Now both sides want to either consolidate their 1-0 lead for Edgeworth, and Magic desperate to get one back before half time as this ball gets sprayed out to Cody Carroll in great pace, and now he finds himself on the edge of the box looking for support. Can't find it at the moment. Plays it back out to Oxborough. Goes into Hoole. Matt Hoole. Oxborough plays the ball back to Hoole, and that one again is just overhit. Has it been kept in?
He got
cleaned
there,
up by Rose.
He got there, Hoole. He did very well. CT, you mentioned before, on a pitch like this, it's good to have strikes outside the 18-yard box because the ball's going to skid. If it's going to skid on the ground, off someone's head, and that's what it did. And there's someone down injured. We'll get back to that. Atadi on the ball. Out to Mitch Dobson.
Dobson plays it back inside for Gardner. Gardner whips this one
And
and strikes it. Not a whip, but a strike, and he's put Bits under a bit of pressure, who held it well, and he's going to throw it out. Get to see, have a look to see who this injured player is, Smudge.
Looks like it's Andrew Hurl, I think. I think he got a clip just earlier. Nice strike again by Aidan Gardner. The thing about this surface, it's a true run of the ball, isn't it? So there's no bobble. So if you're gonna, you can strike it nice and crisp.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and he did exactly that. I thought he was going to whip it in, and Magic gave him a little bit of space so he could line his strike up, and I think that was the difference between him making a decision to swing it in versus take that strike.
And that's how he scored. Magic gave him a little bit of space. They never closed him down. He had a bit of space. He's striked a beautiful strike off Piddington's noggin and past Bits just earlier.
Well, Andrew Hoole is back on his feet. Looks like he's limping a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that.
We've seen last year at this facility, CT, a few nasty injuries out of the round 16 FFA Cup. Players not used to the surface as well. But in saying that, like you said, Magic trained on this during the week. Griffiths goes forward. And good pressure again by Edgeworth. They're mounting the pressure, aren't they, CT?
Yeah, they are. They just, I think Magic then, and Griffiths in particular, he was just keen to get on with it, get the ball down the park. Now as we're closing in on half time. Yeah, we see Moore claiming that was his, but linesman didn't see that way. And Vigili looking for options. Finds his brother. But this one just falls for Holtz. And referee calls a foul on Holtz.
Yeah, I thought Holtz clipped Griffiths late. The thing is, when you're running with the ball here, you need to be a little bit careful because it skids on like it then with Dylan Holtz.
Yeah, and that way Holtz has just pulled out his first yellow card. Enzor, Oxborough. Into Bradbury. Still with Magic. And that's half time.
Yeah, half-time here, CT. 1-0 to Edgeworth. Goal to Aidan Gardner. Even though it did deflect off Josh Pennington's head, CT, it was going on target, and I think he'll get the goal. What are your thoughts on the first half, CT?
Look, very, as you described it, a cagey affair. Both sides not wanting to give anything away. We didn't really have any strikes that were troubling either keeper, and it took a deflection from Josh Piddington off a Gardner strike to catch Bits. So he would have had it covered, I believe, otherwise. That's been the difference between the two sides at this stage. So, look, all in all, it's been fairly even. Magic will be disappointed to be going in one down.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, obviously, Damien Zane will be very happy. I think both sides are set up more of a defensive structure, and it's working well, and that's why we talk about it's been a little bit cagey. Not many chances. However, I think Magic, definitely will come out in this second half. They need a goal. I think they'll definitely come out. I'd like to see Bradbury come to the ball more rather than running away from the ball because they've tried to slide him in a few times, but the ball's just skidding on. The ball needs to go to their feet. For Edgeworth, I think their defensive shot, I think it's working well for them. They're catching Magic a little bit on that transition when they're putting pressure. They're allowing the ball to go to one side or the other. The team's moving as a team, putting pressure on the ball. They're winning it back and trying to transition nice and quick. And they've had a few half opportunities, but that final third just hasn't worked.
Yeah, well, that's about the summary we've got. We're going to take a break now. Half time, it's Edgeworth Eagles 1, Broadmeadow Magic 0. Welcome back to the second half. Just about to get underway. We've got Broadmeadow out on the pitch already and Edgeworth almost making their way. Welcome if you've just joined us. Chris Turner and Damien Smith. Doing our best without young Ben Homer. He's off to his uncle's 50th birthday party in Sydney. So Smudge, you and I battling on alone tonight. Battling not so much as Broadmeadow is finding themselves at 1-0 down.
Yeah, they had a reasonably pretty good first half. They held the ball really well. They got in some good positions, but in that front third, they just couldn't capitalise. And I'll tell you what, Edgeworth's defence was rock solid, very well structured. They worked well as a team. And Edgeworth scored off a deflection from Josh Pennington. But what was a great strike by Aidan Gardner from about 25 yards. Yeah, Magic gave him a bit of space. Great strike. Hit Pennington's head and caught Bits by surprise into the back of the net.
Yeah, it sure did, and mentioned it before the break that Bits was more than likely to take it right in the breadbasket, but didn't, as it took that deflection and left him stranded.
Just before we kick off here, CT, I'm just looking at a few positional changes already for Broadmeadow. I think they're very smart changes. They moved James Vigili from the left-hand side out to the right-hand side, which I love him on this right-hand side, more so on the left-hand side. They moved Andrew Hu out of the middle, the number 10 role, out to the left to give him some space to get at Mitch Dobson, I'd say. That's a smart move by Ruben Zakovic. Bringing Cody Carroll into his accustomed role where he usually plays in the centre of the park. I think it's a smart move by Ruben Zakovic.
And Andrew Hoole is comfortable in that area of the park, and he'll cause all sorts of problems there. It'll be interesting to see how this one shapes up. So Magic have made their intention very, very clear by some changes positionally, and we'll have fun watching this one pan out. About to see Bradbury get us back underway. And the winner of this one, of course, goes into round 7, which is going to be played either on Tuesday or Wednesday night.
And we'll get to that in a second, CT. So Bradbury to kick off for Broadmeadow Magic. We're underway in the second half, CT. It's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be cagey initially. I think, like the first half, and even just early in the second half, it's a lot cooler, isn't it, this second half?
Well, it is cooler. We might get a temperature update because it's noticeably dropped. I don't think it'll be that cagey, to be honest, Smudge. I think I'm expecting Magic to come straight at them and want to return fire as quickly as they can.
But on the flip side of that, they have to be a little bit careful they don't leave themselves short at the back as well, because the way Edgeworth transitioned in that first half, they did quite well. Sitting deep, sucking up the pressure, then transitioning nice and quick when Magic were caught a little bit short at the back. So Josh Rose with the throw in for Edgeworth on the left-hand side. For Holtz. Cut out by Hurl. Holtz picks it up again. Pressure on by Vigili. He crosses and cut out again by Matthew Hurl. Edgeworth corner CT. I think it's a good move by Zakovic, bringing Vigili on this right-hand side. This is where he scores his goals. He burns on the outside of the defender, and he sets him up too. So, and
he also cuts on the inside this way as well, whereas he's playing on the left. He doesn't have the ability like he does on the right side. As we see this ball swung in, and Wheeler launches himself at that one, but finds itself going out for a goal kick, and Bits will pick that up, Smudge.
Yeah, you're right. It's just not his natural. He's not natural on that left-hand side. He's even cutting in. Where on the right, where he's played majority of his, all of his A-League career, majority of his NPL career, that's where he scores his goals. So good move by Ruben, switching him back.
Yeah, it feels like, without harping on it, his only manoeuvre is the one inside. He's not getting around the player and getting a left foot cross in too often that I've seen anyway.
Carroll plays the ball in, cut out by Josh Evans. He slips. Ball's gone to Carroll in the box, cleared away. Atadi, and that's a foul on Atadi by Oxborough. Used his body very well there, Atadi. You see Oxborough come across. He jumped in front of Oxborough, and Oxborough fouled him from behind. Just need to zip my jacket up, CT. It's absolutely getting a bit cold. I know you've still got gloves. You got your thermals on, mate?
Yeah, mate, got the thermals on. chilly up here in the old cherry picker.
Holtz, nice strong header by Pennington. Dobson. Carroll putting pressure on Dobson, into Moore. Back to Gardner. Cut out by Bradbury. Enza beats one, beats two, and he's checked. And no foul by the referee. That looked like a shoulder check by Pat Wheeler on Enza. However, referee waved it away. He's waved away a few things tonight, hasn't he, CT? The referee's trying to get play to flow on, but for me, that looked like a foul.
Yeah, we've got a difference in opinion there. I thought Wheeler just held his ground and he was run into. But anyway, the referee, he's made that decision. That's why he's out there and we're up here.
Enza. He's been busy tonight, Enza, in the middle of the park. Ruben's been playing left-sided fullback in a five-back man of late, but he's moved into the centre of the park. Played there last week against Edgeworth. That's where I've seen him play his best football, in that centre of the park. Hurl. Back to Enzor. To Vigili. Luke Vigili. Takes on Dobson. Crosses the ball in. Cut out by Evans. Well played by Magic. It's good to see Luke Vigili trying to do that overlapping run. He's got a great cross on him when he gets the opportunity.
Well, the ability that Luke Vigili has got is picking players out. And when you see him get past a player like that, you're expecting the ball hit the back of the net because he's found someone. But fortunately, there wasn't that availability on that occasion.
And a short corner by Magic. It's out to Oxborough. He strikes it and just past the upright. Just on the wrong hand side. When the ball came into Oxborough, there was just on his left hand side. He had to have a touch. Angle was quite difficult. Striked it well, but just apologies for that. CT just dropped the microphone.
It's like the Benny Hill show in here.
Low. Massive goal kick, CT. 65 yards. Hurl. Good switcher ball to his brother, Matt Hurl, on the right-hand side. Vigili, as in James. Back to Hurl. Got a bit of space here, Hurl. And that's a great ball across to Oxborough. Vigili's on the outside. It's gone into Andrew Hurl. Back to Oxborough. To Vigili. Back to Andrew Hurl. Back to Vigili. Great ball in by Vigili. And just evades him. It looked like a bit of a push in the back by Ryan Enzor on Josh Evans there, but he just headed over the crossbar at CT.
Well, that was a big chance for Enzor, and he knows it. He's shaking his head. He's got his hands on his head. Got a piece of it, just didn't get over it. It was under a ton of pressure. He's up over the top of the crossbar.
Good winner by Cody Carroll. Great little touch by Andrew Hill into Oxborough. Great ball in. And comes away with Dobbs. That's well cleared by Dobbs. He read that well. Magic looking very threatening there.
Delightful little dink in from Oxborough. He just tried to slide that one in and almost found its mark. This time Carroll finds himself on the ball. Hull. Piddington stretches it back out to Griffiths. Now Oxborough drops it back out to Griffiths.
And again, Magic they've got the ball quite deep in their half, but Josh Evans still playing quite deep. They're not committing them numbers forward. They're playing quite a very good defensive structure. Let Magic play in front of them, because they know they've got pace in beyond. So if the ball's played in beyond, there's not much space there. And the way the ball's skidding, it's going to go on to Josh Lowe, the goalkeeper. Evans. Into Corley. Cut out by Matt Hurl. Back to James Vigili on the right-hand side. And again, what I like about Edgeworth, when they do lose the ball, CT, I hope you're enjoying those gloves there, mate. They get out numbers behind the ball. They condense the space, compact the space, making it difficult for Broadmeadow to go in. Magic do the same to Edgeworth. Moore cut out into Dylan Holtz. Plays it forward and cut out. Well done by John Griffiths. He read that really well. Held his ground, didn't he?
He did, and this time Gilly tries to find Bradbury as low. Look, this game has opened up, that's for sure. I have a feeling there's another goal in here. Magic will be wanting it to be them.
Moore. Out to Corley. It's one-on-one. Magic defenders coming across. And back to Hurl. Evans, he's just such a quality player. Just always looks like he's just got so much time on the ball.
Yeah, he's very, very calm. He doesn't get flustered. It's just in his nature anyway, but he expresses that through his football.
Even the timing of his tackles, he just times it perfectly, doesn't he? Looks like there's going to be a change for Edgeworth here. Adam Corley coming off. He's had a solid first half, and Tyson Jackson coming on for Edgeworth. Looks like Tyson's moved to the right-hand side. Dylan Holtz, who was on the right-hand side's move across to the left-hand side. Tyson Jackson's been in good form for Edgeworth. He's actually got 2 goals to his name this year, Tyson Jackson. Holtz. Jackson with his first touch. Out to Dobson on the right-hand side. Dobson delivers. Nice low ball. Comes in. Off Dylan Holtz. Gets it. Has a shot. And comes away. Magic comes away. Hurl plays a great ball into James Virgili. Virgili one-on-one with Rose. Goes on the outside. Great ball in. And cut out by Josh Evans for Edgeworth. That's what I like to see with James Virgili. Does well, cutting on the outside. He's got pace to burn. And he's got a great delivery as well. Interesting move from Damien Zane. Early change in the second half. Unsure if Adam Corley had an injury or not, but it's an early change just after 10 minutes of the second half. But Tyson Jackson, he's been in great form for Edgeworth as well. So what a player to bring on.
Yeah, and most likely a tactical decision there from Zane. It's hard to say. We've got this time Oxborough on the ball. Plays it back for Carroll. Hoole floats one in, back stick. Finds Piddington, I think, and blasted over the cross by Enzor.
What are your thoughts on the short corner, CT, on a ground like this? Balls are skidding off everywhere. For me, I would like to see it in the mixer. Yeah, that's my personal opinion. In the mix, because the ball can go anywhere. It just skids off. It's quite dewy, isn't it?
I agree. You just get it straight in the box.
Especially deliveries by Carroll, Oxborough, even for Edgeworth. They've got guys who can actually deliver the ball. You just get it in the box. It can skid off anywhere.
I guess the big thing about that is you're just changing an angle from where they've set up. That's probably the only real benefit that you're going to have, changing that angle of attack from the ball flight.
It's a great turn by Ryan Enzor. He's got a bit of space in the centre of the park and cut out again by Edgeworth defenders. Yeah, I just thought they played it short to Oxborough, who probably could have whipped it in from that angle, but then he played it short again to Cody Carroll on the box. I would have liked to see Oxborough whip it in from that angle because he could nearly have a shot. Been busy, Ryan Enzor, in the centre of the park for Broadmeadow Magic.
Well, and so has Oxborough as well. The pair of them have been on the ball a lot, which is a good sign for them despite the scoreline. So as time ticks by, they'll get a little more desperate.
And this is a great angle for Oxborough to whip one in just in front of about that penalty spot, CT. Oxborough whips it in. That's what we just said. And they didn't have any runners. We just said that's a perfect ball. They had runners there. Ball could go anywhere.
That's the mark you want to hit there because you can get someone to get a noggin on it. They can just get a touch on it.
Atati goes forward, bit of space. Out to Dylan Holtz on the left-hand side. He's got a bit of space here, whips it in. Back stick to Moore, controls it. Faces up. Takes on Carroll. Delivers. Hull sweeps it away. Edgeworth aren't done yet. Jackson's on the ball. Turns. Plays it out to Josh Rose. Yeah, Virgili just had a tug on his shirt. Virgili just got caught napping it slightly there. Rose got away. It's a good professional foul, I thought.
This time it's Edgeworth's turn in a decent position. I'm not sure if you want to strike one from here. If you're Brady Parker from the Boambi Bombers, you're probably going to unleash.
That's right. We'll talk about him in a second, CT.
We will do, and we might mention the Boambi Bombers because we love their game today, despite the scoreline. Love the effort from them. This time, Edgeworth on the ball.
So Jackson lining it up to win the wall for Magic. Magic set their line just outside the penalty spot. Bits ready. Jackson fires it in. It's a great ball across. It's a free header. And it's a goal by Broadmeadow by Kearney Moore. What a great delivery by Tyson Jackson. Oh, my golly. What a backflip by... He must have learned that down in Melbourne. Haven't seen that before from Kearney Moore. What a great finish.
Well, that's a wonderful ball in there from Jackson and Moore. Perfect positioning. Right on the spot. Got the header on target. Made no mistake and left bits in pieces. No pun intended there. And a celebration to boot. Takes Edgeworth 2, Broadmeadow Magic 0. Smudge, this is gonna open the thing up for Magic now. They're going to have a go. They're going to run probably with about 27 minutes left without glancing at the clock. But they're going to need to now really get on with the job. They've got to score 3 or at least 2 to go into extra time.
Exactly. And that's what Edgeworth did well. We spoke about before. You get it in the mixer. That was a great run by Kearney Moore. He just ghosted in behind one of the Magic defenders. And it was a great... Bits unlucky. Got a hand to it. It was only a few yards out. But I must say, that celebration was unbelievable. I've seen Kearney Moore play over the last few years, and I haven't seen a celebration like that. And you know what? I would have given him a 10 out of 10 if I was judging his gymnastics performance.
Chances are he's done that and had a couple. But nevertheless, gets a goal for his side.
Magic aren't out of this game, CT. They've got some quality players on this pitch and who can score goals. They just need to take their time, try get a pinch a goal back and go from there.
When you say take their time, I don't think they will. I think they're going to lift the pace of their play and play with some more desperation than what they have.
I think the key for Magic... Great turn by Dylan Holtz, wasn't it?
Look,
foul by Hull.
He had the Hull brothers surrounding him and in company with Virgili, and he got himself spin pirouette and drew the foul.
Evans. Good turn by Oliver Smith. Numbers from Broadmeadow at the back, and they've played that out very well. And that's good one-touch football from Broadmeadow Magic. Great ball across. He needs a touch. Great touch by Andrew Hurl. Dobson's Hurl. Out Oxborough. And again, Edgeworth, numbers behind the ball. That's what they do. They track back. Once they lose the ball, they get numbers behind the ball, making it difficult for the opposition. CT.
Yeah, they've set themselves up really well defensively all game.
Great ball into Bradbury. He turns to Hurl. Hurl tries to evade 2, but well defended by Edgeworth, and they come away with the ball again. Ollie Smith, he's got time and space here. He's turned. He's got Moore on the left-hand side. Moore's one-on-one with Josh Pennington. Into the box. He turns it inside. And, well, good cover defence by John Griffiths from Broadmeadow Magic.
He got down on the ground nice and early there, Griffiths. Just slid and let the Jew take him across to the ball. No foul, just put body cover on. Just like a cricketer would do in the outfield when they drop the legs so the ball won't go through the fingers. It's about what he did there, Smudge.
CT, we spoke about Boambi. They lost 7-2 to Maitland, but from all reports, I've seen bits and pieces of the game. We've got a substitution here for Edgeworth. Looks like Will Bower is going to come on for Dylan Holtz. He's had a solid game, hasn't he, Dylan Holtz? He played on the right-hand side in the first half, on the left-hand side. He played in the middle, interchange with their midfield. He's had a solid game again, Dylan Holtz.
Yeah,
and he's been, so number 11, Dylan Holtz, comes off in place of Will Bauer, number 7. Just talking about Boambi, CT, they lost 7-2 to Maitland earlier today. A cracking goal by Brady Parker, which we'll talk about in a second. But for more reports, Boambi in the first 30 minutes was quite an even game and went up 1-0. Maitland equalised soon after, and then they went ahead 2-1. They had a few chances what cleared off the line, which could have went either way for more reports. And yeah, so 7-2 didn't really reflect the scoreline.
No, and the other thing is reports of, I haven't looked at the vision, but the ball actually going in and hitting the inside of the upright and the goal structure or net supports. So interesting. And Boambi Bombers, Smudge, got some interesting dietary.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, one of their players apparently has 3 Red Bulls before he plays each game. He's on the bench today. That's one thing. And another one was the boys were talking about bananas.
Okay.
They love, one of the players gets into the bananas before the game.
Well, it's Coffs Harbour, they've got a big banana up that way.
Yeah, well, they have in banana territory. And one of their players is sponsored by KFC. That's legit.
I thought this was going to be a joke.
No, that's
it's
legit.
not all right. Okay.
That's legit.
I thought it was going to be one of your terrible jokes.
No, but the bananas interest me because I was doing a bit of research on them and I found out they wear sunscreen to bananas. You know why?
Why?
Because they peel. And this time, you can't see Smudgy trying not to laugh because they peel.
I'm not even... Back to the football, that was terrible.
He would love it.
Bradbury on the ball, back to Andrew Hurl. Good switch of play by Andrew Hurl out to his brother Matt on the right-hand side. And again, good pressure by Will Bauer. Pennington again in cover of defence. He's been rock solid for Broadmeadow at the back. Oxborough. Beautiful ball by Oxborough. 50-yard ball out to Luke Virgil on the left-hand side. Dobson. Jackson. Into Moore. Moore's got some space here, CT. He's got acres of space. It's 3v3. Bauer. He's come in. Yeah, I thought Bauer there. Bauer just came in, closed the defence. If Bauer should have stayed wide, there would have been more gaps for County Moore. He ran into a brick wall of Broadmeadow. The
good news for Edgeworth is they're continuing their attack and then again getting numbers behind the ball when they're under pressure. As you can see, he plays full attention to the defence to protect their 2-0 lead. So much temperature dropping here. It's now at 12 degrees. It feels like 8. You'd be loving your Capelli gear.
Yes.
Thanks to Roy Capitao and Capelli Sports for looking after our sports wear that we've got on, and in particular tonight, these big jackets that we're wearing, quality gear.
Yes, I'm nice and warm. I'm a little bit cold with the hands. Like, I know you've got gloves on and you've got your thermals on, but...
We did have the discussion it was going to be cold up in the cherry picker, particularly if there's...
More ball in, just evades.
As the temperature drops much. It's like... Anyway, I'm not your mother.
No, and again, look at Edgeworth. There's been a turnover and they get numbers behind the ball. Very committed towards the cause, Edgeworth. And again, Ollie Smith just dropping deep in the pockets. It's 3v3 again. Will Bauer one-on-one with Josh Pennington. He goes forward. He advances. He strikes it. And well covered by Josh Pennington.
This time he gets a deflection that he does want and sends it out for a corner. Because Bauer was bearing down and looking quite threatening. We're now on the 66th minute, Smudge. And you get the feeling that Broadmeadow need to come up with something reasonably soon. I mean, it's never too late. We saw 2 late goals for Maitland. And that, that happened a few weeks ago. 67 minutes, we corrected.
And Broadmeadow come away with it. Yeah, I think Broadmeadow's got time on their side. There's still 23 minutes to go. They've got so many attacking weapons. A Tatey, ball in, and there's a brick wall from Broadmeadow in defence there. Oh, Josh Rose. They're not afraid to have a shot from range, Edgeworth CT. That's how they got their first goal.
Yeah, and I agree with that, because on this surface, on this night where it's going to skid and come off clean, it's worth a strike. A little bit greasy out there now too, as the weather dampens up, as in it gets a little bit dewy and make things difficult for both keepers.
So preceding this game, CT, the final 4 teams will be in a draw for round 7 of the FFA Cup. I'll get back to that in a second. Cut out by Oxborough. Great ball across to Matt Hill. Found Matt Hill. He's got great vision, Oxborough. Out to James Vigili one-on-one. Aidan Gardner backing Josh Rose up here. So 1v2. Vigili, good ball in. And calm as you like. Deflected off Josh Evans. Back to Josh Lowe.
Yeah, and that's not considered a pass back. That one was just straight deflection out.
Even the calmness of Josh Evans, even though it deflected back to Lowe in the wrong direction, was still so calm under the pressure. Bauer. Back to Wheeler. It's had another solid game, Wheeler. Tatey. He's been busy all day, hasn't he, CT?
He has.
Same with this bloke, Aidan Garner. Scored a bomb. Good ball into Ollie Smith. He hasn't had much maroon. Ollie Smith, the number 9 for Edgeworth, has he? Very condensed. They've been very condensed and compact Magic defence. The space has been more out on the width. Carroll. Cut out by Bauer. Just had that extra touch. He could have played more a little bit earlier. Now more. He's one-on-one with Matt Hurl. Carroll in cover. And it's a goal kick, well defended by Matt Hurl.
Looks like we're going to have Jeremy Wilson come on for Broadmeadow Magic. See who's going to make the departure, which is Ryan Enzor. So there'll be a shuffle in positions here. I won't expect Jeremy Wilson to play in the middle of the park. He'll go into the back line that you would expect. Let's just keep our eye on that smudge.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes straight at the back, Ruben, here. With Jeremy Wilson at the back. Here we go.
He's going to play on the right side of the back. There's a back line of Wilson, Piddington.
Yeah, I think he's going to a 3-4-3. They're going to play 3 at the back with Wilson, Piddington and John Griffiths on the left-hand side, yes.
Yep, that's what's happened.
And look how high and wide Luke Vigili is. I like this move from Ruben Zakovic.
So he's changed things up.
I think they needed to, because Edgeworth were restricting them in that front third.
Well, we've got 19 minutes to go. So as the minutes tick over, we'll see how this one unfolds.
For Edgeworth, you don't change a thing, do you? Defensively, they look pretty rock solid. They've restricted Broadmeadow to just a few chances. Broadmeadow's had some possession. That's well played by Pat Wheeler. Just calm as you like at the back.
And we see now Lowe on the ball. He's cleared that long. Found Smith. And this time Jackson's on the edge of the box. Cuts it inside, looking for Smith, but just gets cut out. And Vigili picks that one up. Finds Griffiths. Plays it out to Hoole. Magic holding possession for the moment, but putting under a lot of pressure by Edgeworth, and then it turns over for throw-in smudge.
Yeah, just on Smith. The one I like he's doing, he's just staying high. A lot of number 9s come into the pockets, but he's staying nice and high, allowing space for County more in the pocket just in front of him. They have a bit of time and space on the ball, and it's working. It's working a treat for him.
Piddington. It's onto the newly arrived Wilson. This time, Hool. Jose takes the ball off him, finds Gardner. And this time, Will Bauer pulls it out for Jackson, who's fouled on the edge of the box, and Smudge. This time, we've got Edgeworth, similar position than they were before, same sort of range, and with a great opportunity to test bits.
Yeah, agree. And again, good transition by Edgeworth. But you know what I'd like to see Ruben do with Magic? They're playing a 4-3-3. The problem with that, they push their right midfielder and right attacker and left attacker. They're virtually sitting on each other out wide. I wouldn't mind him going to a dual striker. Bring someone in like a Vigili or a Hool in with Bradbury and play like a 3-5-2. Just a few more numbers in the centre of the park.
Well, either way, they'll need to attack because this is exactly what Edgeworth are doing. They've got a 2-0 lead. Gardner is on the ball at the moment. Aidan Gardner, his challenge to get the ball up over the wall if that's the way he chooses. Magic have set it up. So they look like they've got reasonable cover and bits ordering his wall around. Gardner's focused. He'll probably be looking at a 1 metre square target. And Gardner hits it straight at Bits. Wall did its job. Bits did his.
You know, from that angle, I wouldn't want a left footer hitting it there. Going across the wall.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. And that was the same spot that we saw Nathan Morris hit his screamer from last weekend against Hamilton Olympic. Piddington decides to go the other way. Goes back across to Griffiths. Oxborough. Griffiths. Patient build-up.
And again, Magic's got 4 up front at the moment. There's not many players in the middle of the park. They need one of them has to drop in, give a bit more room so they can create like the 2v1s.
Yeah, you can see that they're really trying to change this defensive pattern of Edgeworth and drag them out as we see this ball come out to Oxborough. Touch from Vigili, back to Luke Vigili.
That is well played by Broadmeadow.
And now to Hool. Vigili strikes it just over the top of the crossbar, and that one hasn't troubled Josh Lowe.
What I liked about there, good one-touch play. Well played by Broadmeadow. Gave James Vigili a bit of space. He just leaned back when he striked it. And ball went over the crossbar. But again, Edgeworth not overly troubled. It was well played, but not overly troubled. They're forcing Magic to shoot from outside the 18-yard box.
We've been expecting, it's in the lead up to this game, this one to be an absolute cracker, and the quality of both sides and the ability, as we see Hool, he's dropped that ball beautifully into Carroll, finds Andrew Hool. Vigili swings this one in left peg and gone too long and gone over the goal line. Josh Rose lets that one run out.
Yeah, but back on Zakovic, I think it's a smart move what he's done. Move 3 at the back. Obviously, he needs more numbers forward to try and score. But it'd be good to see some interchange between the guys playing up front and the midfield, just to try and move the Edgeworth defence around, because that bank of 4 at the back's virtually been a bank of 4 all day. And it's not the biggest pitch in the world either, so it's very congested. And the other thing I'd like to see, a few runs in beyond.
Saw Smith lose that header. Josh Rose picks that ball up, and Gardner straight on top of it. Back to Rose. Piddington. We hope you're enjoying this fixture as much as what we are. Edgeworth 2 if you've just joined us. Broadmeadow 0. Broadmeadow have changed their shape a little bit. Tactical move from Zadkovic. So we see Jackson on the outside of the box, strikes it just outside the top right-hand corner, Smudge.
Yeah, he had a little bit of space just in front of the Magic back four. They're able to turn, face forward, hit it well, but just skewed it off his right foot. They're not afraid to hit. That's how they've scored one of their goals. They're not afraid to hit from outside the box, Edgeworth. And on a night like tonight, the ball's skidding.
It's a wonderful ball from back left-hand corner into Hoole. This time Oxborough on the ball. Plays it long out to Vigili.
And again, Edgeworth numbers behind the ball, CT. They've got all their numbers behind the ball, making it very tight for Broadmeadow to play through.
Broadmeadow just trying to find little pockets to play in. As Hoole strikes it. And Lowe gets it down, still in play. That's been called offside.
Better by Magic. Nice turn by Hoole. Good strike on goal. Good save by Josh Lowe. That's better by Magic. They need to change it up a little bit.
They get a goal now. This last 15 minutes will be really interesting. They'll be pressing. That's why they've changed the shape. Ruben Zadkovic is through into the back line.
Yeah, it's a smart move by Ruben.
Getting literally this man, Luke Vigili, on the ball more down the left-hand side as we see Carroll and Jose come to battle. This time Oxborough finds himself in space, tries to slide it through for Vigili, and that ball is the one we've been talking about all night. So hard to get it right when the pitch runs so quick.
That's where Vigili has to face up and come and get the ball off him into feet and then turn. Especially as the night goes on, CT, it's getting dewy out, getting colder. The fog and the mist is starting to come across the ground.
Wilson. Oxborough.
He's been solid tonight.
He's
CT,
had a great game. Vigili, great touch to Hoole. Finds Bradbury.
Beautiful touch by Bradbury.
Bradbury into Vigili. James Vigili plays it into his brother Luke. Luke cuts inside, looking for help. Gets the support by way of Andrew Hoole. He's happy to play the ball inside, looking for Bradbury. Doesn't find him, and that ball was cleared.
And again, Edgeworth, virtually every play behind the ball. Ollie Smith.
Smith, oh, just really tight there. You see the captain in Piddington progresses the ball forward. And
it's been solid, Piddington, hasn't he? He's been very solid at the back. Him and Griff again been very solid. The unfortunate own goal from Piddington, but that was a great strike by Aidan Gardner. You couldn't do much there, Piddington.
Well, Magic looking for that first goal just to bring the game back into their reach. At the moment, Edgeworth with a 2-0 lead that they'll be extremely happy with, given how close this game's been. So we see Jackson all the way back to the keeper, who thumps it down the park. Moore finds Bauer, gets onto Jackson, who's looked at threatening, plays it back stick to Smith. Smith has a lump at it, but didn't get too far other than Wilson, and picked up by Piddington. This time, Hoole keeps possession back to Piddington again.
Nice touch by Smith in the box. Just couldn't connect with his shot.
Edgeworth pick up a throw in a dangerous area of the park as we see Moore to Smith, back to Moore. Moore's asked the question. Referee said no chance.
Great challenge by Oxborough.
Jackson back on the ball again. Rose dispossessed, and Piddington under a bit of pressure decides to keep possession, and Hoole lumps it down the park. Oxborough looking for Vigili, didn't find its mark, and this time the throw will be taken quickly. Oxborough back on the ball again. Went to play it long out to Vigili, didn't find it. He's back on the ball again now. Plays it short this time into Carroll. Carroll looking for a slider, but opts for Vigili wide on the left. And Vigili decides to go one-on-one and take him on, which he does. Hasn't gone out, Smudge, and I think this time Edgeworth on the counter.
Yeah, great ball by Josh Rose. They're on the counter again. They transition very quick, don't they, Edgeworth?
And here we see Rose back on the ball. He's going to swing this one in. In fact, went to go short to Jackson. And Magic now, this time with a rare chance without a huge amount of players behind the ball. They've counter-attacked well, Magic, and Vigili. He comes inside and finds Andrew Hoole. Slips it out to Vigili, who again comes inside. Plays the ball into Bradbury. Bradbury finds himself in the box. Dispossessed by the Edgeworth defence. Magic have not taken their foot off the pedal here. Matty Hoole Slides the ball in, this time to his brother, Andrew. He's inside the box with a little bit of room. Oxborough.
And again, Edgeworth, they get numbers beyond the ball quick, don't they, CJ? They condense the space.
That's what they're doing, but they're being put under pressure now by Vigili. Strikes it, and low. Had it covered, Smudge. Better play from Magic.
Oh, a lot better play from Magic. Good transition again. They're starting to put Edgeworth under a lot of pressure. Just going back here, Ollie Smith. He's got an opportunity here. One-on-one, Jeremy Wilson. Back into Moore, who's been very good tonight. He's been one of the best on ground, CT. Keanu Moore for Edgeworth. Same with this guy, Aidan Garner. He's been everywhere for Edgeworth. Jackson delivers. Great ball across, but just evades Will Bauer. Moore comes out with it. Atadi. Back to Gardner. Dispossessed by Hurl.
And this is where Magic come right in their play. Look at Hurl with some space. This time he finds Vigili again with a little bit more room. He decides to go one-on-one again. Cut inside, but just overhit. And that's the intention of Magic, Smudge.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes it's difficult running with the ball as well because it skids on as well.
Well, when it is skidding on, it's so quick. Your touches have got to be a little bit different. It's got to be a little bit softer. This time, Matthew Houle is coming off.
So we've got a double substitution, one for Edgeworth, one for Broadmeadow. Andrew Houle coming off for number 12. Jared Baker. And Aaron Pedisano came on for number 10, Keanu Moore, who's had a brilliant game, scoring a goal and done a fabulous backflip in celebration.
Well, Aaron Pedisano on, my buddy from Port Macquarie.
To Vigili. To Bradbury. It's been a good quality game, CT, hasn't it? Some excellent play at stages. Sometimes the ball's just evaded, that final pass just evaded. Will Bauer with a bit of space. You've got Aidan Garner on the left-hand side. Wilson in cover. Garner crosses it to Bauer, knocks it down. Oh, what a great finish.
Oh, that's a terrific finish there from Smith. Right on the spot and put it away absolutely perfectly. Smudge gave Bits absolutely no chance.
What I liked about that, they transitioned quick. Aidan Gardner had the ball, played it out. Beautiful ball in for the back stick, headed back across to Smith, and well finished. What a great finish. Edgeworth 3, Magic 0. It's going to be very difficult, obviously, now for Magic to come back with 5 minutes to go, 3 down. They were putting Edgeworth on a lot of pressure. If they could have got that goal or got that chance, could have been a different story, but...
Yep, for sure. Yep, for sure. And then that finish there from Smith, high quality. And you've got the feeling now, with probably about 2 minutes extra time, about 6 minutes in total at a guess, it's just about shut the gate. And Edgeworth.
You must give credit to Edgeworth. They kept playing. They kept looking. Great ball in by Vigili. Oh, nearly an own goal by Josh Evans there, CT. Just going back to what I was saying, you have to congratulate Edgeworth. They're up 2-0. You might have thought they might have just, had a few blocks of 4, locked the game away. However, they kept fighting. And they weren't done at 2-0.
No, not a chance.
They wanted a third.
Not a chance.
They played it smart. Good transitional. They sat deep.
Well, Magic will not go away. And this ball gets swung into the box, looking for Vigili. And Piddington would have loved to have got over the top of that. Set up beautifully for him. Sets up for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think Zane's done well tonight. He set his defence quite deep, not allow Magic to play any balls in beyond, which made it difficult, especially with the dewy ground. And he's transitioned really well. Both sides, when they've had the ball and had possession, have looked very sharp. They've been two quality sides. They're two of the best sides in the NPL. It's been a good game. but full. Can he get it over? No, he still can't get it over. This guy out the back, I don't know if you can see it on camera, he's had about 4 attempts to get it over to Josh Lowe, and he's finally got it.
I thought we were the Benny Hill show. The crowd down the bottom end are absolutely loving that. The referee will add some time on. He's just indicated that was some time out. Some entertainment. We see Piddington now played ball in through to Hoole. It's Matt Hoole, that is. Andrew's gone off and Josh Rose picks this one up. Looking for Jackson.
Superb ball. On any other surface, that would have set up perfect for Jackson. Just skidded and evaded Jackson.
Well, this time Oxborough now playing a beautiful ball out to Hoole.
He's had a good game, Oxborough, hasn't he?
Oh, he's been terrific in
Yeah.
some of the balls that he's played. And Vigili gets into his favourite spot, cuts it back. Oh, looking into the hole.
Out to Hurl. Whips the ball in and hits Josh Rose out for a corner for Magic. Magic looking to have a short corner again. Oxborough and Vigili on the ball. Great ball across. Great header by Pennington. And Jackson comes away with it. Bradbury. Baker. And again, Edgeworth. The whole 11 players behind the ball. Great ball out to Oxborough. And good pressure by Will Bauer on Oxborough.
Not long to go now in this one. Hoole into Oxborough. Finds Bradbury. This ball finds Vigili right in the corner of the park. Look to deliver, which he does. Ball dangerous, but held and collected by Josh Lowe. This time Gardner on the ball for Pedisano. Advances forward, running at Piddington. Whips the ball into the box. In for Smith.
Oh.
Smith this time, he's got a double, taking Edgeworth Eagles to 4. Would you have ever believed that, Smudge?
No way in the world. And credit to Aaron Pedisano down that right-hand side. Great ball in. And Smith, he's a goal scorer, isn't he? He scored 6 already for Edgeworth. He had a few games out, but what a great finish. Well controlled. Good challenge by Piddington, but Smith held his ground and finished it away.
Well, you've taken the words out of my mouth. He's really timed his run, so he arrived correctly right at the right time. And the young players wanting to watch timings of runs. Have a look at that from Smith. And I can't believe that Broadmeadow Magic have been beaten 4-0, Smudge.
Well, I'm a bit the same. They've got a great side out there. I think tonight they probably missed Johnny Madge a little bit. Johnny Madge is away at a wedding. He's the type of guy in this sort of surface can hold the ball up. This sort of surface, Magic a few times, they've tried to play the ball in and beyond. It's just skidded past when they've had great opportunities and in great field position. But you know what? Full credit to Edgeworth, Damien Zane and Edgeworth. They've set up their defensive structure really well. They've played a little bit deeper than what they usually have. But what they've done, they've allowed Magic to play in front of them, only shoot from range, and then they transition really quick. But not only transition quick, they've built the ball up in certain parts of the game where they've had possession, they've been able to get numbers forward, but what they've done is when they've lost the ball, every time they get numbers behind the ball, they compact the space and limit Magic to any chances.
This time, Vigili tries to deliver. Yeah, I agree, Smudge. Totally agree. I can only remember one occasion in this second half where Magic got them on the counter, which left them a bit skinny, but even then...
They had numbers rushing back, yeah.
They had numbers rushing back, and this time and that ball swung into the box, and again Josh Lowe to the rescue. It's a well thought out game by Damien Zane and Edgeworth. I did ask him about the shape of his side today, Smudge, and he just said, you know, we'll play with some we'll play with some purpose about our defence. I said, is it a 4-4-2? He said, 4-1-2. I can't even remember what he said. It just depends on, they've just got the ability to play, but they're going to hold some certain areas.
And again, you look at numbers, closing the space there.
This time, Bradbury into Vigili. Back to Bradbury.
In St. Magic's played some really good stuff again today. They had a few opportunities in the first half, but full credit must go to Edgeworth.
Oxborough, Vigili plays this one into the box, but just gets cut out again. And that defence of Edgeworth. We're now in stoppage time. We had a bit of activity behind the goals where we couldn't get the ball back into play. Other than that, it hasn't been a huge amount of play. Oxborough whips his ball into the box. Finds Jared Baker, but no further than Josh Lowe in goals for Edgeworth. He's had an outstanding game, Josh Lowe in goals. And if you're Nate Cavalieri, you'd be wondering, am I going to get my spot back? He's been out with an injury to his thumb, and so he's been sitting out at the moment.
Well, again, Edgeworth, they've got the second best defence in the league with 13 goals against. Maitland with the best with 12 goals, but Maitland still have to play another 2 games yet, so they've virtually got the best defence in the league again, and that's what's won in the premiership in the last 4 years, is their defence.
Magic will come away with this one from this one very, very disappointed.
Yeah, with this squad, they would have loved to have made that round of 32 on the national stage. With the squad they got.
Ball played in, struck by Oxborough, but the wall and Vigili finds himself in the bottom corner. He's not giving up. There's not a chance of that, and he's having troubles getting out of that corner as Baker comes to an end for this one, Smudge. What a game it has been, and what a night for Edgeworth. The Edgeworth Eagles just had a sensational night with goals that you would not expect to see, a scoreline of 4-0, and Broadmeadow Magic really come away wondering what's just happened.
Yeah, I know. It's such a tight game. Goals to Aiden Gardner in the first half, then second half goals to County Moore, and 2 to Ollie Smith, the number 9, the striker. He's such a goal poacher. But yeah, full credit to Damien Zane and Edgeworth Eagles. They came out with a plan. It worked tonight. They restricted Broadmeadow just to limited chances, shots outside the box. Magic played very well in parts and had, half opportunities, but that final third sort of broke down a little bit. Like we said, what Edgeworth did well today was play the ball to the feet virtually all night. They kept playing the ball to the feet. Sometimes Magic were playing to the feet, then they were trying to play that through ball, which was evading and skidding on. And so full credit to Edgeworth Eagles. They're in the round 7. They're going into the draw with Valentine, who beat Cahibah 9-1. Maitland over Boambi 7-2. Olympic 10-1 over Bangalore. And now Edgeworth 4-0 over Magic.
Yeah, look, Edgeworth will be ecstatic about this because they've been there before. They've made it to the round of 32 before. They've performed well on the biggest stage. And to wrap things up, Edgeworth Eagles 4, Broadmeadow Magic 0. Thanks for joining us, and we will look forward to joining you again during the week.